Now I'd love your calls on whether the Royal Mail should let us use old stamps when we start sending Christmas cards. 020 7862 2222. So if you've been watching this week, you'll know that in tandem with the whole American election, we had a big, other big story, which was I was trying to send a magazine to my daughter, and I put this, that was the envelope, not showing her address. She's at university. And my wife then said, that will not get anywhere. And I said, why not? And she said, because of those 3 stamps. You can have a little close up. So, and to me, they look perfectly fine. They ended up to £2.60. I think 85, and £1. Mm-hmm. That's £2.70. So it's actually 10p more than I needed. My wife said, no barcodes. And of course, we then found out since March 2022, all stamps without a barcode have been voided. This is like the waspy women. There hasn't been a proper announcement.
Come on.
Yesterday, our floor manager, Ella, volunteered to investigate and went to a post office round the corner to see if my stamps were any good. They said we'd have to fill out a form. Ella, join us. Remind us, you went and they told you there was a form.
There was a form and an envelope.
Oh. So I then filled out... What did you do when I filled out the form? I gave it to you.
I went off and posted it for you.
Let's see that moment.
I really can't wait to see what happens. Here it goes.
Now, the little caption covered, but I'm going to assume it did go in the letterbox.
It went in with a bit of struggle there.
Okay, and that was the situation.
Yeah, who knows what will happen next?
Brilliant, and are you excited about it?
I'm thrilled.
Okay, thank you, Ella. So we then separately got in touch with the government and talked to the minister responsible for stamps. Justin Madders sent us this message last night. As a private company, look out, he's put a serious face on for this. Royal Mail are responsible for their own business decisions, but we recognise some people have been frustrated by changes to stamps in recent years. We encourage anyone with old stamps, this is the crucial bit, to take advantage of Royal Mail's swap-out scheme, where those without barcodes can be replaced at no cost. So the one rider I should add is that when and let's not sniff at this. The stamps
I'm more than sniffing.
To a value.
I'm absolutely puffing.
They were to a value of £3.20, and you don't.
Oh.
So I did use the voided stamps on the letter I sent to get the refund. Do you think that will be a problem?
I hope so. I mean, as far I do not understand this whinge fest. I mean, the announcement was February 23.
Yeah.
Royal Mail gave you nearly a year. It went to January 24. 23.
Yes.
So it gave you nearly a year.
Feb 23.
Then, hang on, then they extended the deadline because people like you were whinging so much. They extended the deadline by another 6 months.
I know.
That's nearly 18 months in total. And if you cannot get yourself organised to change your stamps within an 18-month period, then frankly, don't moan.
I wasn't writing letters fast enough, and I had a lot of 9p stamps.
You could have taken the stamps in. That's what we were all doing.
Well, you took yours in, did you?
I got mine exchanged. Yes.
Vicky in London, have you got the same situation as me?
Oh.
Do you know what? I am one of the whingers, but with this situation, I mean, not everyone writes letters all the time. So I have loads of stamps in my drawer in the kitchen that I haven't used because I've not needed to use them yet. But what I think they should do is, I get they've got the forms and that to send them off and get them back in, but why not just allow you to take them to the post office and just swap them out for a set of the new ones?
Yeah,
and then
I agree.
Can just get rid of the ones that they don't need anymore, because there's not a use-by date on the stamps as far as I'm aware, so you should be allowed to use them until, do you know what I mean, until they're out of circulation.
Absolutely. This is the thing, because imagine if you're somebody, Anne, who had stocked up by buying, let's say, 4,000 to 5,000 second-class stamps because you thought they'd be usable for life, and then they suddenly make them expire like that.
If you're so organised that you can buy yourself 5,000 stamps, you should be sufficiently organised to get them exchanged within the time.
Henry, you've got sympathy here.
I've got sympathy with Vicky. I understand why Anne is haranguing you the way she is, but I mean, if stamps had an EXP expiry and then 2023, 2024 or whatever, you would have that and you would see it. There was a deadline. And then if you failed and you missed that deadline, then fair enough, you'd have no comeback.
Well,
but you don't.
So we filled out the form.
18 months.
We filled out the form. Ella posted it. We can see that this is the one quirk, is that I did use the stamps I was returning on the letter. And I think that might complicate things, but I would expect them to be taken into account. Paul in Wiltshire, hello.
Hi, Jeremy.
Are you also sitting on old stamps, not literally?
No, I'm not sitting on stamps. My argument is, so last year I had a card put through the door from the Royal Mail, and it said, "We've got a letter for you." To get the letter, I had to pay £2.50.
Oh.
And what it was a Christmas card, bless him, from my uncle, who put an old second-class stamp on it. And I think it's totally outrageous that the Royal Mail, they actually not only charge you for the postage, they charge you admin charges on top as well.
Well, it seems like if they can deliver a card to you, they should just deliver the original letter.
Exactly.
And did you have words with your uncle, or was it too embarrassing?
I let it go because he's my uncle and he's in his 90s, bless him.
Yeah. Is he? Do you think he's got? The worry is, it reminds me a little bit. The story of a man who was blind who posted his letters for 10 years into a box that was meant for dog poo. Oh. Yeah. Until someone spotted it. And I just wonder, Paul, whether your uncle might keep sending the old letters. The old stamps.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Because I've spoke to my cousin, which is obviously one of his daughters. So hopefully.
Word.
I mean, he should have been allowed to use it. Years ago, we were allowed to use stamps that were out of date. Now we're not.
No. It's gone to the dogs, hasn't it?
I mean, I'm disabled and it just winds me up even more.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul. I think it's also, you don't know what the letter is. If it's a Christmas card, you could say, look, you keep it, Royal Mail. I don't need it. But you sort of have the curiosity.
Yes,
so you pay the fine.
I've done it many times.
Yeah.
And it's been rubbish.
Yeah.
I've kicked myself.
How do we find, is there some way of getting them to admit what the letter is before they give it to you? Or I don't know.
It isn't really their responsibility. Somebody has sent you an unstamped letter. Now, that's that person's responsibility. You're the recipient. Why the dickens does the Royal Mail have any responsibility in the matter at all?
That's a good point. But I think part of it is we're all so angry about the post office scandal. I know it's a separate...
That's totally separate.
Well, it is, but it all involves letters.
Separate. It's separate.
OK. Deborah in Norfolk, hi.
Hello, Jeremy. I think your journalistic spidey sense is a little bit off, Jeremy. That's all.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, Anne agrees
really
with you.
Because I think Anne has mentioned this, that we were given ample warning that, and we could trade in our stamps. I done it myself. I had some old stamps. I sent them off, went to the post office, got a form, and sent them off, and they returned me with new barcode stamps.
I know. I should have been more organised. But
you had 18 months.
I didn't. OK, I misunderstood the warning. I thought what they were saying is we would prefer you to use barcode stamps. I didn't realise they're saying we're cancelling your stamps.
The idea that...
Well, exactly. You've had enough warnings, so you have to put them in your stamp collection now. But I do think there should be some way. But we did have enough warnings. We might get a refund. You never know. We're going to report back as soon as we hear. Thanks, Deborah. Bless you. Suzanne in Perthshire, hello.
Hi there.
Are you also sitting on stamps?
No, I didn't realise I'd have two opinions about this. I used to work in insurance, and stamps are classed as cash. If you get burgled and you are a collector of stamps and you've got and money and stuff, they are insured.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I mean, stamps are cash.
Yeah.
And that was just from a couple of phone calls ago that I heard that, and I thought that is right. If you get burgled, your stamps
cash. But because we do have situations where cash is also rendered obsolete by an announcement. Do you remember when they did that to the Halfpenny bit?
Oh yes, or even the
1p.
notes.
I can remember the
notes.
Mark Carney brought in the Canadian style,
Really
waxy
serious thing.
£5 and £10 notes.
But then you can still swap. I mean, they'll never stop you swapping the old ones in a bank, I don't think. Thank you, Suzanne. Very interesting. One more quick call. Sandy in Hertfordshire, hi. Are we wrong to be annoyed about the stamps?
I think you're very wrong to be annoyed about it. We had so much information given to us. Every household had a leaflet which told us exactly what was going to happen, and that was over 18 months ago.
I know.
We've been able to use the commemorative stamps and the special editions, but not the ordinary everyday stamp.
No, it's fair comment. But then, as I say, with pensions and stuff, that was all announced in the 90s. People missed it. We don't always hear official announcements,
Well, it wasn't just announced once, the pensions in the 90s. It was announced several times.
Well, that's my point. Sandy, thank you so much. It's interesting. I think a lot of people, as concerned as I am, or not. After the break, it's the papers and everything else.